It's time to win the Stanley Cup. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 13 of this Dallas Stars NHL 23 franchise series. And today, I'm playing Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, with us up 3-1, as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, right there. As you can see, it's a Stanley Cup Final, 3-1 Stars, or has the Dallas and Toronto logos, and it has 3-1 for Dallas. As we are up 3-1. Game 5 is in Toronto. I somewhat want to win the Stanley Cup in Dallas, but I don't want to let Toronto back in the series, because if they do win Game 5, they have momentum, knowing that if they can win Game 6 in Dallas, and they would force Game 7 back in Toronto. So we just need to end the series here in Game 5. We don't want to give Toronto any chance of coming back. We have 3 chances to win the Stanley Cup. I would like to win the cup in this game, although it's on the road. I just want to end the series, and I don't want to dip Toronto life. 17 points, for Jason Robertson. He has 19 points in 17 games, 11 goals, 8 assists, 19 points in those 17 games. I'm going to show you the final scores of games 2, 3, and 4, because those were off camera. Game 1, which was the last episode of the series. The playlist of the series will be now in the sky in the top right corner right up here. There should be an icon that pops up. At the beginning of the video. But we are 15-2 in the playoffs. The Maple Leafs are 13-9. The only 2 losses for us in the playoffs have come on the road, so we're perfect at home. It was round 2, game 3 in Denver that we lost to the Avalanche in game 3 of that second round series, 4-2. That was our first loss to the playoffs, and our second loss to the playoffs was in Game 2 of this series, 2-1 to the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Because we won Game 1, 4-1, lost Game 2, 2-1, then we won Game 3, 6-3, and then we won Game 4, 4-2. So, obviously we won by 3 goals, then lost by 1 goal, then won by 3 goals again, and then won by 2 goals. As we won both games in Dallas, 6-3 and 4-2, and now we go back to Toronto here on Thursday, June 1st, 2023. That's the date of Game 5, as we are officially in June. But obviously in real life, the Stanley Cup was awarded like June 18th or something. If we win tonight, it'll be awarded June 1st. It's just the only reason that's the case is because here in NHL, they speed everything up a little bit. They do the playoffs faster here in NHL 23 than they do in real life. But it doesn't matter, as we're technically still in June. Thursday, June 1st, 2023 is the date of Game 5, like I said. It's in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. But yeah. I mean, if we win the Stanley Cup, Jason Robertson's probably going to win the Conn Smythe, which goes to the MVP of the playoffs, which is probably going to be Robertson if we do win the Cup. But it might not be, because he has 19 points, but I'm pretty sure Sagan has 17, so it could go to Sagan. Depends what kind of game Sagan and Robertson have. As the first line, by the way, I'm going to show you the lines real quick before we get into the game, because for some reason the CPU keeps doing this. As I have Robertson, Hintz, Pavelski on the first line. For some reason, they keep putting Pavelski on the second line and putting Sagan on the first line. And the reason why I don't like that is because when you have Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski on the first line, they have a +2 overall line chemistry, and then line 2, Ben, Sagan, and Gurianov has a +1 overall, or they have a line. So line 1 has a +2 overall line chemistry boost, and then line 2 has +1. So line 1 has +2. And then line 2 has +1. But either way, if Pavelski was on the second line and Sagan was on the first, they have 0. But when Pavelski's on the first and Sagan's on the second, you have the first line with a +2 and then the second line with a +1. And I mean that's better than 0. I mean that's a +2 overall line chemistry boost and then a +1 line chemistry overall boost. So that's the line. So Robertson, Hintz, Pavelski, Benton, Sagan, Gurianov, Marchment, Glendening, Fatsa, and then Kiviranta, Dellandrea, and Camano. And then defense, we have Haston and Miller, Lindell, Suter, Butcher, and Hockenbaugh. Unfortunately, -1 for line 1, and then -2 for line 2. But then we have a 0 for line 3. I want to have a plus. I want to have at least a 0 overall line chemistry boost, or even +1 or +2 for the defenseman. But there's no combo that I could get to +1 or +2, because that helps. That +1 or +2 line chemistry overall boost does help. But yeah, hopefully that helps in this game. Let's get into it. I mean, this team still has Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. Well, actually, I think Mitch Marner's injured, because he got injured. I was playing Game 4, and he hobbled off the ice. I'm pretty sure he's injured. And also looked at the lines off camera before I started filming. I didn't see him, so I'm pretty sure Mitch Marner's injured. But they still have Austin Matthews, John Tavares, William Nylander, Morgan Riley, a defenseman. So. Definitely cannot take this team lightly. They have a 92 offense and a 92 defense. I mean, they have +3 for offense, +2 for defense, and then we have a +1 for overall. 92-89 on the offense, 92-90 on the defense, and then 87-86 on the goalie. Their goalie is Samsonov. I forgot his first name though. And then our goalie is Jake Ottinger. Obviously. Let's watch the transition. James Zabalski, Game 5 of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. That was the end of the Canadian National Anthem here in Toronto, as we are north of the border for Game 5. And Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final is on your way here north of the border, like I said. And we won the opening draw of Game 5, dumped in by Heiskanen. Somewhat, but they got blocked off at the blue line as we're on your way in Game 5. Did hit at the blue line. Now up ahead, Pavelski dumped in. And now Robertson trying to get there first, but Matthews says, I'm going to get there first. Here's Riley. Up ahead and past the Nylander. Up ahead, here's Nylander, saved by Ottinger. As he got it with the blocker, almost at his head. And now the pass back to the point. Matthews from the slot, but Ottinger says no. As he gets the glove on it, 17:39 to go in the first. First whistle comes just over 2 minutes into Game 5. And we win the draw. Miller got hit hard, but finds Hintz, but got picked off by Nylander. Does go out of the zone though. Now Nylander back in. The poke. And now Miller, up ahead Hastings, out around, or up ahead Hintz, up ahead Robertson, save by Samsonov. And then Robertson got hit hard, Pavelski with a shot blocked. And now Riley, I don't like Morgan Riley at all. And then Hintz just nailed him. No penalty on the play. And now we have a center pass blocked. Now the center pass got through, the shot was blocked. And now dumped in by Hintz as we're 5 minutes into Game 5. And Pavelski got there first. Tipped it out of there and Hintz missed it. And a big hit. A rumbling hit. And now up ahead Ben. And Ben got body off. Here's Giordano. Used to be on the Kraken. Now he's on the Maple Leafs. Our captain is Jamie Benn. Their captain is, I believe, Austin Matthews. Here's Lundell. Up ahead to our captain, now Satan, who won the cup with the Boston Bruins back in 2011. Trying to win his second cup. And a save. Benn with a putback from below the goal line. But a save by Samsonov. 12:31 to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Satan's the only player on this team that has won a cup. And he's trying to win his second while everyone else is trying to win their first. And now Hakanpää, that shot is, he was tied up, so it was not even really a shot. And then he bodied off. That was a good play by Fatsa. Now up ahead, Fatsa wearing number 12, got around 55. Fatsa! And he got hit from behind and wasn't really a good shot. Stopped by Samsonov, 11:14 to go. Trying to go left. He was hit from behind, so the shot ended up going right on the goal, on the ice. And now Butcher, shot by Butcher, almost went in. Marchment centers it. Hakanpää gets it on net. Fonsa save. Marchment finds Hakanpää, but then Hakanpää is missed, and now it goes back down. Ottinger's there as we're halfway through the opening period. Here's Jani Hakanpää, and Hakanpää almost got to that after getting bodied off. And now good poke. Good forecheck. Yarncroach tipped out of there. And eventually they did it out here at Giordano as we're still scoreless. 8:30 to go. Good play by Butcher. Up ahead, Camano on the fourth line. He took the place, I believe, of the injured Jacob Peterson. Camano, save rebound! Oh, and Samsonov stopped it inches away from the goal line. As how did that not go? As it hit Samsonov, he stopped the shot, and then the rebound went off a Stars player and almost went in. 7:43 to go. And we lose the face-off. Here's Brody up ahead. That did not work. Up ahead, Tavares. Or I'm pretty sure, by the way, the Maple Leafs captain actually is John Tavares, not Austin Matthews. So it's Tavares and Ben. They're the two captains. I forgot Tavares is on this team. I know Tavares was on this team, but I forgot he was the captain. Now it's dumped in, tipped aside by Samsonov. So after this game, if we do win, there'll be a handshake line, and Ben and Tavares will be first to shake hands. That's offside. 5:33 to go. I was thinking about Connor McDavid. Between McDavid and Matthews, McDavid's the captain of the Oilers, and then Matthews is a alternate captain for the Maple Leafs, while Tavares is the main captain, or is the captain. And here's Tavares wearing the C. Now Bunting save, and then Ottinger cannot secure the puck. Hastings does a inadvertently banked pass to himself. Gurianov got around the guy. Save, rebound, score! Satan! As it somehow went in, as Satan put it in from close distance. His 9th of the playoffs. And the Stars strike first in Game 5. As a shot by Gurianov was stopped by Samsonov, then the puck was, I believe, just laying in the blue paint, and Satan buried it. His 9th goal of the playoffs, at his 3rd in the lead, tied for second with Brad Marchand, and then the only player that's in front of Marchand and Marchand, who's on the Bruins, who are not in the playoffs anymore, but they were in the conference finals. But either way, he's tied for second. Satan's tied for second in goals with 9. He's tied with Marchand of the Bruins, and then the only player in front of Marchand and Satan is Matthews. But yeah, the shot was stopped by the blocker of Samsonov. And then it was just sitting there, and then you had 4 players, 2 for each team, basically, not including the goalie. You had 2 players for Toronto, 2 for Dallas in the blue paint, along with the goalie. And Satan, through all that melee, located the puck. I think Toronto put the puck in their own net. Because the puck was laying there. I think then it hit the stick of Satan, or his skate, and then it hit the skate of number 96 for Toronto, and then went in. Because then you can see 78, actually might have hit the stick of 78, because then 78 you can see for Toronto slam his stick right there against the ice, and then you can see Ben and Satan, who were the 2 players for Dallas in the blue paint, put their arms up. So one of those 2 Toronto players put the puck in their own net. But Satan touched it before that, as Satan was the last Dallas player to touch it, so he gets credit for the goal. As we got help by Toronto, it was assisted by Gurianov and Hastings, and as Toronto put the puck in their own net. 1-0 Stars, as Satan hits the goal, I just said, because he was the last one to touch it. 4 minutes to go in the first, and it's 1-0 Dallas. Here comes Toronto, knowing their season's on the line here. And now a centering pass, save. And it's thrown out. That was maybe a mistake. And now Riley trying to tee it up, but he got clubbed by Ben. And now Miller possibly on a 3-on-1. And Brody picked off the pass. And then Brody turned it over. Miller, save. 2 minutes to go. And a hit. A big hit. Now back the other way. Matthews! Another, and then there was a save by Ottinger, and then the rebound was stopped, or actually went wide. Now Robertson. Robertson Got around the hit. Robertson, save. 40 seconds. Suter finds Lindell, save. And now Matthews lost the putt, does go out of the zone. Pavelski got hit. 7 seconds. Suter lost the putt. And now turns in front. Pavelski at the horn. Save with half a second to go. So it was turned over. Good forecheck. 0.5 to go. And that's going to be the end of the first period once the putt is dropped. And Glendening loses the face-off. That's the end of the first period. 1-0 Stars. Here's the goal. It was just sitting there, and then you can see it hit, I think, the stick of Sadin, or the skate of Sadin, and then it hit the skate of, I think it was Brody, and went in. So we got lucky there. Shots were 12-5 Dallas in the first. Hits were 7-6 Toronto. Time and attack, we had about a minute more. Passing, they were much better. Face-offs 5-3 Stars. And neither team has any penalty minutes or power play minutes. Sadin scored the first goal. It was assisted by Gurionov and Hastinen. And let's get into the second period here in Game 5. 1-0 Stars here in Toronto. And there's a good amount of Stars fans as we're on your way in the second period. Or we're not on your way yet. But 20 minutes down, 40 to go, 1-0 Stars. And we are now on your way here in the second period. Hintz wins the opening draw of the second. Hastings dumps it in. Here we go, second stanza, or middle stanza here in Toronto. And now we have Hastings save. Passed out to Riley by Samsonov. Now with Nylander. Get poked by Hastings. And now it's up against the boards, hit out of there. And now it's back against the boards. Miller finds Robertson. Robertson got hit off the putt. Now did hit by Hintz. And now shot score! Jason Robertson! Off the feed from Hintz. His 12th. As Robertson has a dozen goals here in the playoffs. And the Stars are up 2-0. As Hintz hustled down there, hit the Toronto player, turned over the puck, as that hit created the turnover by Toronto, and then Hintz took the puck, backhanded it to Robertson, and then Robertson from a tough angle put it in. Assisted by Hintz, scored by Robertson, assisted by Hintz, and now here's Sadin offside, 17:23 to go. But Robertson's 12th of the playoffs, assisted by Hintz. Now, that is what? Robertson's 12th goal and 20th point. As if we do win the Cup, Robertson will probably win the Conn Smythe. It's only between Robertson and Sadin. Now, here's Gurionov. Dumped it down. 2-0, but this game's definitely not over. And now here's Riley. There's still over half a game to go here. Here's Toronto. And they lost the putt. Here's Ben. And they have to touch up. Brody can't get in cleanly. Nylander dumped it in under all the stress. And Miller got hit hard, but now Sadin might be on a breakaway. Backhander save. As Sadin kind of was in a tough position there. Shot is blocked. And now Nylander has it, and there's a delayed penalty on the Stars, so we're going to be shorthanded. We touched the puck. The whistle is blown. 13:59 to go. Calls a slash on Sadin. As I'm not sure when that happened, but it happened when Toronto was coming up the ice. And 2-minute power play for Toronto, 6 minutes into the second. And we win the draw. Lindell is not clear to hit off right off of Brody. And now a shot turned aside. Lindell backhands it. Glendening nailed the goodies out of that guy. And now Lindell might be a 2-on-1, but a break-up, or a good break-up on the pass by Brody might have saved the goal. And now here comes Toronto to poach, and Glendening will clear it. Picked up by Samsonov. Make sure you don't play it outside the trapezoid. If you play it outside the trapezoid and below the goal line, it's a penalty. If the goalie plays it down there, what a mammoth hit! And Glendening will clear it, or Dallas will clear it, and then Glendening with a short-handed chance and a save. Fonsa with a short-handed chance saved by Sam Stornoff. That was really iffy. 1 minute to go in the power play, 13 minutes to go in the period. And now a center and pass. One-timer, safe rebound. Point blank. But Ottinger said no. And Glendening will aid it down the ice. And now a turnover. Glendening scores! Glendening! Short-handed, and it's 3-0. As a turnover by Toronto as the hit by Fonsa created a turnover, came right out in front. Glendening picked it up and scored. That was almost the same spot Robertson scored from. A shorty, as Toronto's still on the power play, but now it's 3-0. Glendening's 11th point that sits on the team here in the playoffs. 42 seconds to go on the power play, but we're up 3-0. Unassisted, as Fonsa never tentatively touched the puck. Dumped in by Hastings on net. Now here comes Toronto. Still over half a game to go, but they're down 3-0 now. He lost the puck again, and cleared by Pavelski. Now up ahead, and now Matthews blocked by Pavelski. The veteran putting his body on the line. Puck goes out of play. Pavelski is 1 win away from winning his first cup. He's been so close, but yet so far. And now we win the draw, cleared by Miller offside, as it's brought in back by Nick Robertson, the brother of Jason Robertson. Offside, because it went out of the zone, and then he brought it back in before Toronto touched up. Shots are 19-7 Dallas. And we win the draw. Miller will clear it. 6 seconds to go on the power play. And Hintz is going to get there first. But a save. And he holds it with 2 seconds to go on the power play. I forgot to mention, the Texas Stars did not. The Texas Stars did lose in the conference final. So they're no longer in the playoffs. But Dallas is. And 1 win away from winning the cup. That stopped. Power play is over. Toronto had a couple shots, but also they did up to shorty. And we're firing on all cylinders right now. Here's Miller, finds Saden. And now Hintz almost got there. Whoa, ref, that was almost interference. He went after the body instead of the puck. So here comes Toronto to poach as we're halfway through Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. 3-0 Stars here on the road. And now Marchment tipped it out, but right to Bunton. Honkenpaw up ahead. No one was there. This could be an icing. And they'll say no icing. Marchment! Wraparound save. And now Tamano, I don't know what that was. And then he almost lost it. Tamano, or excuse me, Delandria, finds Marchment, but a save. Kicked out of there. Up ahead, Bunton. 7 minutes. And a big hit as he got rocked to Pluto. But a turnover. Bunton. Nylander got nailed to Mars, maybe. And then I thought that was going to... that's going to be an icing against Dallas. 6:07 to go. I thought that Stars player was going to go up the ice. Instead, he cut back to the middle, and I missed him. Shots are now 23-7. This is, I think, our biggest... Oh, we did win one game, 6-3. The only reason I think we won that game, I think we had a couple empty netters at the end. Or we had one, I think. But yeah, this is our biggest lead, or almost tied for our biggest lead here in this series. And now Tamano, that guy almost hovered through Tamano. 5 minutes to go. And now a shot! Stopped by Ottinger. Passes it out. Tamano now. Hit Tamano. Tamano got hit. Now here comes Toronto, but Lindell said no. Now Suter lost it. Just outside the Dallas blue line. And now a center pass. Ottinger said no with 2:41 to go. Well, center pass got through. The shot was stopped by Ottinger. 2:41 to go. He definitely dominated, but don't let your foot off the gas. And now Duryanov save. And now Duryanov intercepts it, or now Yarncroat got nailed, and I did not mean to dump it in. And now there might be a... Let's fight! Let's actually fight! Let's go! The last flip just ended. The fight is literally just started, so I paused the game because I don't want that to be off camera. So let's go. Here we go. It's Duryanov and Hall, or Hall, however you pronounce that. Here we go. I think this is a defenseman. Duryanov's a forward, as there was a big hit. And here we go. And Duryanov loses it as Hall, or whatever his name is, wins it for Toronto. I think he's a defenseman, I'm pretty sure. But either way, he wins it against Duryanov by the benches. 1:28 to go. Both guys 5 for fighting. That's the first in Toronto. The first thing that has gone Toronto's way. Faceoffs ends up being in the Toronto zone. Now Suter, Lindell blocked. Ben, backhander saved by Samsonov with 57.9 to go. It's 15-10 Dallas. Suter save. Passed out by Samsonov. It looks like Suter caused an injury or something because they're booing Suter. 5 seconds. And Suter got around the guy. Here comes Suter! And now the shot, I believe, was stopped or blocked and ends up behind the net. The horn sounds. End of the second period. It's 3-0 Stars. As the Stars are 20 minutes away from winning the Stanley Cup. 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. We're out shooting them 26-10, out hitting them 15-10. Face-off 16-4. Shorthanded goals, obviously, we have one. Toronto's 0 for 1 on the power play. We haven't had a power play. Obviously, the first goal was scored by Sagan. Second goal was scored by Robertson. The third goal was scored by Glendening, shorthanded. Let's get into the third period. 3-0 Stars in Game 5, as the Stars are 20 minutes away. From winning their first Stanley Cup since 1999. And it looks like Ryan Suter injured Cal Yarncroat, and Yarncroat is not coming back. That's why Suter was booed when he was touching the puck. As Hintz won the opening draw of the first period, second period, and now the third period. And we're on your way in the third and final regulation period here in Game 5. Robertson save. Pavelski trying to gather it in. He does. And finds Hintz. But Samsonov read it and made the save as he got over there. 18:49 to go. And we win the draw. And now Miller lost the puck. And now back the other way. And a slapper. That's what he did. He did a slap shot from almost the boards. Sideboards, but a save by Ottinger. And now Miller lost the puck. Robertson got it. That was a tough save by Samsonov. And now Hastings. That was a really tough save. Both blocker saves, though, and then a big hit. A mammoth hit by Dallas. And now Robertson backhander save. 16:29 to go. Now Miller finds Hastings, left point. Oh my! How did that not go in? It might have hit a Toronto player in front. And now Nylander trying to like do it like a windmill move, and then that didn't really work. And now almost turned it over. There's a delayed penalty on the Maple Leafs as the Stars will get their first power play. Ottinger's on the bench for the extra attacker, and Sagan centers it. Fonsa is denied. and then eventually it's touched by Toronto as Fonsa got robbed from about 6 inches. But there's a slash on Nylander, and we would get a power play already up 3-0. As if we can score here, this could be the dagger. I think if we score here, it's the dagger. Here we go. And we lose a face-off. Backhand the Muzzins. Find Austin Reese. Muzzins again. Here comes Toronto. They did a shorthanded goal of their own, but that ain't gonna happen, at least right now. Ben slams in the brace. Save. Rebound. Score! Fonsa slid it in as he was below the goal line and banked it in. Power play goal. And that could be the dagger. 5:46 into the third, and we're up 4-0. As he was below the goal line, and I think then he just backhanded it in. Oh yeah, he banked it in off the right skate of Samsonov. Fonsa 5 goals. That sits on the team for the lead in the playoffs as Robertson leads the Stars in goals with 12. But I want to see that replay. Well, what happened here? The shot was stopped and then it went right to Fonsa. I didn't realize Fonsa had the puck until right there, because then I hit the shot button after when he was right here, because I didn't realize he had the puck until right there. So I hit the shot button. He slid it on the ice off the right skate of Samsonov and in. So I banked it in off of Samsonov. And power play goal as we scored 19 seconds into that power play. 14-14 they down. We're up 4-0. Assisted by Ben. Now Sadin. Save. Rebound. Oh, that was a juicy rebound. But Toronto got to the puck first. And that guy just ran right into Suter. As we have hemmed in Toronto. And a big hit on Riley. Remember, this team doesn't have Mitch Marner. He got injured in the previous game. And now a center and pass. Riley! What a bad check by Suter! And then turned over. And then Suter will just send it down the ice. That's probably an ice in. And it will be with 11:20 to go. But Suter, with a great back check, stole the puck from behind and prevented a shot. And won the draw. Hurry on off to Ben. Ben racing the other way. Sadin blocked. Goes right to Samsonov, and who throws it out almost right to Ben. 10 minutes to go. Stars can feel it as they're 10 minutes away from winning the cup. Up 4-0. Ben reverses it. Slams in the brace. Save. And now kicked out of there right to Bunton. And now here comes Toronto. And a shot tipped on net by a Stars player, but saved by Ottinger. And now good hit. 8 minutes. Good play by Duryanov. And trying to pass it back, then it worked. Now Butcher, a hit off the puck, but keeps the puck. Robertson, Hintz, and finds Robertson, but a save by, they put Matt Murray in. The veteran Matt Murray, I know that the Stars have a Matt Murray, he's on the Texas Stars, but they have put, the Maple Leafs have put in the veteran Matt Murray that has won 2 Stanley Cups. So Samsonov came out after that 4th goal, I guess. And now a shot stopped by Murray. Here's Nylander, 5 minutes. We're up 4-0. And now here's a shot turned aside by Ottinger. As the Stars can feel it, and their fans can feel it back in Dallas. And now over, and that got blocked. And that didn't work at all. Here's Pavelski up ahead, and he lost the puck. And now Hintz trying to dump it in. That probably was on net, but it was hit out of midair. Under 3 minutes to go. As the Stars and their fans can feel it. As the fans back in Dallas will be partying on the streets tonight. 2 minutes to go. Shot stopped by Ottinger. Marchment up ahead to Butcher. Up ahead Butcher got knocked off the puck. And now here's Marchment, the big boy. Finds it back to Hakanpää. Butcher got around the die. Under a minute to go. Butcher with a backhand save. Marchment. And now it goes right to a Toronto player. 50 seconds to go as we're going to have a Stanley Cup winner here tonight in Toronto. Unfortunately, it wasn't in Dallas. But so be it. Now Fatsa, he might have a breakaway. He does. Fatsa, saved by Murray. And now up ahead, Lendenen save, rebound. And 25 seconds, shot stopped by Murray, thrown out right to Marchment. And now Fonsa scores his second. And that's a cherry on top. 5-0 in Game 5 as we were pressuring there in the final half minute, or in the final minute of Game 5, knowing we were already going to win the cup. As we scored, I believe, 21 seconds to go. As good pass by Marchment to Fonsa, his second. There's 21 seconds to go, 21.2. We're up 5-0 in Game 5. Assisted by Marchment, lose the face-off as the Stars can feel it. 15-second shot is blocked by Dellandrea, the rookie. As Sagan will win his second cup, everyone else will win their first, including Joe Pavelski. As it's dumped in, here's Brody, 5 seconds, and the Dallas Stars have won the Stanley Cup. There's the handshake lines. The captains are not first to shake hands. It was Esa Lindell for Dallas, actually, who was the first to shake hands for the Stars. And Jake Ottinger is the Conn Smythe winner. I kind of forgot about Ottinger. 14 wins, I think. Not 14 wins, but 16 wins. 16 wins as the Stars went 16-2 in the playoffs. And I forgot about Ottinger. I thought it was only Sagan or Robertson winning the Conn Smythe Trophy, but actually it was Ottinger who won the Conn Smythe Trophy, which is awarded to the playoff MVP. So Ottinger's the playoffs MVP, and Jamie Benn is first to hold the Stanley Cup with confetti flying here in Toronto. And there she is, Jamie Benn with his first cup. Unfortunately, it wasn't here. Unfortunately, we didn't win it in Dallas, but it is what it is. And I'm going to give it to, where's Pavelski on the, where's Pavelski? Pavelski's not, let's just give it to Robertson. Pavelski wasn't on the list. Why was he not on the list? As there's Ben giving it to Robertson. As Robertson, who had the most goals and most points in the playoffs for the Stars, is the second to hoist the cup. As I thought the Conn Smythe Trophy was going to go to Robertson or Sagan, but it actually was, Ottinger, and I don't know where Pavelski is. I can't give it to Pavelski. I have two choices remaining. Let's give it to Marchment. I was gonna give it to Sagan, but for some reason it gave it to Marchment. So Marchment with his first cup, and as I was gonna give it to Sagan, but it for some reason locked me in and giving it to Marchment. So it was Ben, Robertson, Marchment, and now it's between Sagan and Ottinger. And I'm going to give it to Ottinger. He won the Conn Smythe, and he's our goaltender. You have to give it to the goaltender. Obviously, in 18 games, the Stars went 16-2. Ottinger obviously started all 18 games. 16-2 with, I believe it was a 2.10 goals against average and like a .930 save percentage. Yeah, there's Pavelski right there. For some reason, I couldn't. He wasn't on the list. I was gonna give it to him if he was on the list, but for some reason he wasn't. There's the team pitcher with Jamie Benn right there, Hastinen, Pavelski, both goaltenders. There's Ottinger to the left of it laying down, and here's this little presentation right here of the names on the Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup champions, Dallas Stars, and you're gonna see the names of all the players right there. Jamie Benn, Will Butcher, Camano, Dellandrea, Fonsa, Glendening, Gurianov, Hakanpää, Hanley, Hastinen, Hintz, Taro, Kiviranta, Lindell, Marchment, Miller, Ottinger, Pavelski, Peterson, Robertson, Sadin, Suter, and then Wedgwood, our backup goaltender. In real life, they have all the names of the players, plus all the names of like the management, the coaches. But obviously, that's what they have in real life. In this game, it's just the names of the players they show, but in real life, it's the names of the players, the management, the coaches, the whole 9 yards. The third star was Sadin, second star was Ottinger, first star is Fonsa. We outshot them 44-15, out-hit them 20-16. Time of attack, we had 4 minutes more. Passed, and they were better. Face-offs 21-6, Dallas. Power plays, they were 0 for 1. We were 1 for 1. They were 0 for 1. And after we had a shorthanded goal as well. So we had 3 5-on-5 goals, and then we had a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. As it was what? Sadin. The goal scorers in this order, it was Sadin, Robertson, Glendening shorthanded, Fonsa, and then Fonsa again on the power play. So, yeah. Fonsa scored the last 2 goals for Dallas. I mean, we outshot them by 29. Yeah, I mean, this was obviously the biggest gold, this is the only game in the series. This was our biggest win of the series, like goals wise, as we won by 3 goals, and then 2 goals, and then obviously we won by 5 goals here in Game 5, as we won Game 5 5-0. As yeah, I don't know why Pavelski was, because the whole team wasn't on the list. I knew that was going to happen, where the whole team wasn't on the list, but for some reason Pavelski wasn't on the list. I don't know why, because they had like Glendening and Fonsa on there, which I wish they had, instead of like Fonsa or Glendening, they had Pavelski, but for some reason Pavelski wasn't on there. As Ben held it up first, and then it was Robertson, then it was Marchment. I wanted Sadin, but when you're picking, if you wait too long, then if you take too much time, then it just locks you in on a player. It locks you in on the player that the cursor's on, and the cursor at that point was on Marchment. I was going to pit Sadin, but then it, for some reason, locked on Marchment, and then it forced me to pick Marchment. So it ended up being Ben, Robertson, Marchment, and Ottinger. Yeah, but I mean, I'm still happy for Marchment. I was gonna give it to Sadin if it didn't lock me in on Marchment, but it is what it is. It's Sadin's second cup. Everyone else's, it's their first cup, and then Sadin's second, as he won it in 2011 with the Bruins, and now he's won it in 2023 with the Stars. Fonsa only played 11 minutes, had 2 goals. Hastinen had an assist. Marchment had an assist in this game. Ben had an assist. Glendening had a goal. Hintz had an assist. Gurianov had an assist. Sadin had a goal. Robertson had a goal. Lindell had a +1. Butcher 0. Pavelski had a +1. And then Hakanpää had a +1. And then Miller had a +2. And then that's it. So, and then Ottinger in this game obviously got the shutout. He had 4 shutouts here in the playoffs, as he went 16-2. The Stars went 16-2, and Ottinger went 16-2 in the playoffs, with 4 shutouts. As he had a shutout, 2 shutouts in round 1, 2 shutouts in round, or he had 2 shutouts in round 1, and then no shutouts in round 2, 1 shutout in the Western Conference Finals, and then obviously 1 shutout here in the Stanley Cup Final, which was the clinching game here in the Stanley Cup Final. The Stars won the game 5-0, and then won the series 4-1. And I wish they won it in Dallas, but unfortunately they didn't. But at least they still won the cup. As they win it here in Toronto. Oettinger played 59 minutes and 44 seconds because there was a delayed penalty, so he was off the ice for 16 seconds. But 15 for 15, 15 saves on 15 shots, 1,000 save percentage, a 0 goals against average. Wedgwood never played because obviously usually in the playoffs you don't switch your goalie unless your goalie. You only switch your goalie in the playoffs if your goalie gets injured or your goalie's really struggling. But obviously Oettinger, was basically unstoppable the entire playoffs. The Stars were too. When you go 16-2 in the playoffs, you're pretty unstoppable. Or really hard to beat. We were really hard to beat. Toronto did beat us once. As Colorado beat us once, Toronto beat us once. And then, we swept the Predators, beat the Avalanche 4-1, swept the Canucks, and then beat the Maple Leafs 4-1. As we were perfect at home, both losses were on the road. As unfortunately, like I said earlier, the Dallas Stars like I said earlier, the Texas Stars, the Dallas Stars AHL affiliate, did not make it to the Calder Cup finals of the American Hockey League. The Texas Stars lost to the Colorado Eagles in the Western Conference Finals of the Calder Cup playoffs in 6 games, I think. Yeah, they lost the series 4-2. The Stars did. The Texas Stars did. So the Texas Stars did not win the Calder Cup, but the Dallas Stars did win the Stanley Cup, which is obviously more important than the Calder Cup. So at least between the two stars, at least one of them won the championship. And obviously, I'd rather have the big club win because the Stanley Cup is more important than the Calder Cup. But the Calder Cup is still something, but the Stanley Cup is more important. So Dallas won the Stanley Cup. Texas did not win the Calder Cup, but at least Dallas won the Stanley Cup. This is going to be the end of this series, by the way, because NHL 24 comes out soon. And usually I ask for NHL 24 for Christmas, which I'm probably going to do that again. And if I don't, then I'll probably just do it on my own. But either way, this is going to be the end of the series because regardless of when I get NHL 24, I'm going to get it soon. So I'm going to ask for it for Christmas, or I'm going to do it on my own. But either way, this is going to be the end of the series because I still have Be a Pro and Expansion Draft Franchise to do. I'm in the playoffs in both of those series. So I'm trying to win a Stanley Cup with the Dundogs and then the Avalanche in my Be a Pro. So hopefully I can win the Cup and Be a Pro and an Expansion Draft Franchise. So out of the 3 series, I've won 1 Cup. I'm 1 for 1 in the Stanley Cup Final, and I'm 1 for 1 in the Stanley Cup Final, and now I'm trying to be 2 for 2 and then 3 for 3 with Be a Pro and with the Avalanche and Be a Pro, and then with the Dundogs and Expansion Draft Franchise. Right now I'm in the second round and Be a Pro, and then the Western Conference Finals and Expansion Draft Franchise. So hopefully I can win the Stanley Cup in both of those series. I think I will. Knock on wood. But yeah, stay tuned for both of those series. Stay tuned for both of those series, and stay tuned for both of those series, and stay tuned for all my other series here on this channel. This one was a great series, 13 episodes here in this franchise. The Stars win the Stanley Cup to end it. You can't ask for anything better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, tell your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what, I'm going to see you in the next video here on this channel. Thank you for watching, see you next time, eat a lot of bacon, and go Stars.